Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. So going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's fourth video. Day 10 is going to take us to around the 12th of July. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles, maybe around a couple of weeks. And I'll look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That'll take us pretty much to the end of July. I shall get on that for you very shortly. Just say about the first video released today was our 7 AM forecast. We also released JMA Friday and the ECM WF 42-day extended forecast. So check out all of today's videos if you'd like to do that. Thank you so much, everyone. Please like, share, subscribe on the videos. And hope you're having a lovely Friday. Right, okay, so let's have a look then. We're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. So look at this. We had a disturbance area there a couple of days ago. That's now developed into a Category 1 hurricane. Unbelievably early for this. We've got Hurricane Elsa, giving maximum sustained winds of 65 knots, 75 miles per hour, with a minimum central pressure of 995 millibars, moving west-northwestwards at around 28 miles per hour, moving quite quickly. We have a look at the prediction from the National Hurricane Center for this storm. So the hurricane starts just there, going to stay as a Category 1 hurricane, moving through the Caribbean, eventually arriving somewhere around Haiti and Dominican Republic or Jamaica, somewhere in that area. Then moving up towards Cuba, towards the island of Cuba, weakening down to a tropical storm. And then moving due north to Florida by the middle of next week. Florida is being hit by what is forecast to be Tropical Storm Elsa. But this, a couple of days ago, was not forecast to be a hurricane. It was only forecast to be a Category 1. It was only forecast to be a tropical storm, I should say. It's powered up to a Category 1 hurricane. So, at the moment, this is a much stronger storm, much stronger system than was expected. And we'll have to wait and see, how much this powers up over the next few days as it moves through the warm waters of the Caribbean. But, yeah, very, very early days for that. Absolutely incredible. Right, CT confirmed, as we said yesterday, at 15.5. which is an anomaly of around 1.5 degrees above average for June 2021. So a very warm June. Not as hot as it looked like it might be a couple of days ago. That comes in underneath 2017 and 2018 for June, but still a very significantly warmer than average month, and it's kind of a very similar deviation anomaly to February and March, which were again both around 1.5 degrees above average. Of course, we also have April 1.5 degrees below average, and May 1 degree below average, and January nearly 1 degree below average. So it's been a very, very strange year this year so far. For July, just for the first day, we're at 16.7. That is 1 degree above average for, the first day of July. We're waiting to see, of course, where things are going to go in July over the next few days and weeks. Right, let's have a look at the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles, shall we? So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average. We're looking at Nottingham today. So we're starting off above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment. They're going to drop through next week, though. It is going to start turning cooler as we see those upper air temperatures reducing. Looking to the second week of July, there's a lot of scatter then. So we have several ensemble members that are going really quite warm or hot, including today's midnight operational run, whereas we have these cooler ensemble members down here. So the second week of July looks like it's up for grabs, but the chance that it might turn a little bit hotter. Also going to be very unsettled over the next week to 10 days. Lots of precipitation coming up, either heavy showers, possibly even some thunderstorms as well. So lots of precipitation on the way, and then just turning a little bit drier maybe around the middle part of the month, but of course that is a really long way off. Let's have, that's the midnight on Somerset. We can actually show you the 6Z, and again you see the scatter that we've got here for the second week of July. So initially, yes, we're starting off warmer than average, quite warm and humid at the moment. Over the weekend into next week, it turns cooler. And then this period just here is where we've got all of the scatter. We have these ensemble members up here that are quite hot. These ones down here that are pretty, quite a lot cooler. So it remains to be seen where things go through the second week of July and into the middle of the month. Temperature anomalies from the 2nd to the 10th of July going to be a little bit below average for England and Wales and a little bit above average for Scotland and for Northern Ireland. Precipitation anomalies from the 2nd to 10th of July are looking wetter than average through most parts of the country, so clearly some more unsettled period coming up. The latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net looks like that low pressure is in the Atlantic and is heading our way. Look, there's lots of low pressure in the Atlantic and starting to move in our direction, so we could be heading for, or we definitely are going to be heading for a more unsettled spell of weather over weekend and into next week. Right, let's have a look at the generic charts in shown at this point. I think we'll turn the webcam back on. Hello, I'm back. Right, so have a look at the UK Met first of all at the weather outlook. So, starting on Monday, low pressure moving in off the Atlantic through the early part of next week will bring lots of heavy rain and some quite strong winds with it as well through the early part of next week. And then that low pressure through the middle and second half of next week, so it goes meandering off into the North Sea. We start to raise heights a little bit from the southwest. We can turn slightly drier, but will still be pretty cool, I think. The wind's still coming in from the northwest, but there is signs there that by the end of next week, the Azores High is at least trying to send a ridge towards us. How successful that will be remains to be seen. That's as far as we go to with the UK Met. Let's have a look at the GFS midnight run. Now we know from the ensemble, from the upper air ensemble graph, this is going to get quite hot. Let's see what happens. So we start off, of course, unsettled and pretty cool for the early part of next week. This deep area of low pressure moving in, bringing a bit of a soaker for Tuesday, and then we're into showers and longer spells of rain through the middle of next week. Second half of next week, the Azores High starts to make a ridge into the country, so we begin to see some ridging from the southwest, and the ridge strengthens as we begin to move up towards day 10. So by day 10, which is Monday the 12th of July, we are firmly under high pressure with lots of dry and potentially very warm or quite hot weather to enjoy there. Just beyond day 10 to the 13th of July, look at we're under a large area of high pressure, bringing mostly dry and warm or very warm conditions, and that carries on to the 14th of July as well. Winds coming in from the east, looking dry and pretty hot. Into the second half of next week, again, the ridge of high pressure is close to the country, loads of dry, fine and very warm, if not quite hot weather. It's a proper high pressure fest with the GFS midnight run, and that carries on as far as we get to, which is to the 18th of July. We're under that area of high pressure, looking mostly dry, fine and pretty hot. This is how the 6Z is looking. So again, low pressure is moving in off the Atlantic for the early part of next week, being showers, if not some longer spells of rain. Middle of next week, again, looks pretty cool and showery. And then up towards day 10, not as much of a ridge from the Azores going to around day 8, 9, 10, actually with the 6Z. So we just bring low pressure back in through the country, and it remains quite cool and showery up to day 10 with the 6Z. Beyond day 10, we start to get this ridge of high pressure building up from the southwest. That should start to turn us drier and warmer, especially for more southern parts of the country. North perhaps still a little bit changeable. And the 6Z finishes up with quite a nice ridge from the Azores into the southern half of the country. So the 6Z does eventually get to where the midnight run was, but it takes its time, and up to day 10, the 6Z is rather showery and rather unsettled. The GEM looks like that, so again, low pressure is dominating. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Into the open of next week, so low pressure is over country. That bring a very unsettled start to next week with showers and longer spells of rain, and we keep this trough sitting around the country right way through to the end of next week. All the way up to day 10, looking pretty unsettled. The high pressure ridging in off the Atlantic by day 10 might just be trying to settle things down, but probably still quite cool at that point with winds in from the northwest. Where that goes beyond that remains to be seen. We could send this ridge properly into the country and turn us dry and hot. Conversely, we could run this area of low pressure south of Iceland in, over the top of the ridge and keep it showery and quite cool. And then the ECM looks like that. So again, it's an unsettled start to next week with low pressure bringing bouts of rain and cool temperatures as well. These cool, unsettled and showery conditions continue into the second half of next week. A little bit of a transient ridge building there on Friday should dry us out a little bit. maybe warm things up slightly. But up to day 10, excuse me, up to day 10, the ECM also looking quite unsettled, with winds remaining from a northwesterly direction. So you'd expect showers, if not some longer spells of rain, especially from more northern parts of the country, and probably quite unsettled with that too. Quite cool. Right, this is how the precipitation forecast looks with that ECM run. So showers over the weekend. Some of them will be heavy and thundery. There could be thunderstorms this weekend, so it could be a lively old weekend to come. Into the early part of next week, again, further showers and longer spells of rain as well. And then on Tuesday, we've got this more general mass of wet and windy weather sweeping in from off the Atlantic. The middle and second half next week looking very showery. And really stays quite unsettled, quite showery, all the way up to day 10 with that ECM run. Not particularly settled, to say the least, up to the 12th of July. Right, at that point, we'll have a look at the options on the table with the ECM ensembles. So these are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles for day 10. It gets us to the 12th of July, as I've been saying. So we have 22 members of the ECM ensembles with above average heights just to our southwest. And we're still bringing in a bit of a flat westerly type flow, though. That does include the control and the operational run, so probably still rather on the showery side. 17, with a large area of high pressure building through the country and going northeast. There's going to be loads of dry, fine and warm weather with that. And then 12, have high pressure just to our north, and around the high we bring the winds in from an easterly direction. There could be a bit of a trough to the south that might threaten some thunderstorms into more southern parts of the country. In 2 weeks' time, this is the option that we've got. It gets us to the 17th of July. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, all of them have an area of above average heights over just to our south and bringing like a flat westerly type flow. And that could be a little bit on the showery side still, especially for more northern areas, and not overly warm as the areas coming in off the Atlantic. And then finally for this video, this is how the CFSV2 is currently forecasting August. First salvo, really, from the CFS for August. These get updated daily. And today, the idea is to have above average heights centered over and just to the west of the country. A lot of high pressure influences. You're not quite as warm as like earlier in the summer with these charts where the high pressure had been more towards the north. We will bring in some influences from the Atlantic with a bit of a westerly flow, but nevertheless it's still an anticyclonic signal for August, so that would be all three of the summer months if it came off, showing anticyclonic high pressure dominated signals. The temperature anomaly for August is no better than average, but would probably be quite warm in the sunshine, of course. With high pressure in control, the precipitation anomaly is kind of average through a little bit on the drier than average side actually. So high pressure, yes, but not quite as warm with the position, with the placement of the ridge as earlier on in the summer, but nevertheless still an anticyclonic signal for August. And this is only the opening salvo from the CFS for August, and I suppose there'll be a few twists and turns yet before we get to next month. Right, if you enjoyed the video, then please can you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Just drop a comment and let us know what you think, and don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids as well. Thank you so much to all of you for doing this for us, and if you subscribe, you're going to be able to see future weather content, let's not forget. Right, so that's it for the videos for today. Now, I might be live streaming after 10 o'clock. I've got a lot to get through. I've got another historic video to do for next week while I'm having my little break. I'm going to have a couple of historic videos for you. I've already got one done. I want to get a second one done. So I may not have time to do the live stream. It just depends how I get on bringing the historic video together. I will let everybody know, probably around 5, 6-ish, I would have thought, on the community tab on the channel. So just watch out for that in a couple of hours' time. And I'll see what time I've got this evening. But for today's videos, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.